Good morning, welcome back to my channel. It's Sunday the 13th of April and it's just before 9 o'clock. Well, we'll kick off again today with what's for the basket. This week I've got Baxter's shredded beetroot. This is really nice because it's like tiny little matchsticks, not like juliennes, like you'd have julienne of carrots, much smaller. So like tiny little matchsticks of pickled beetroot. And it's lovely to just scatter over whatever you're eating. I think I like pickled things even with hot foods. I can put pickles with anything. But this is really nice. It's the first time I've bought it this week. So that's for the basket. Can't remember the price. Probably about £1.50, something like that. Word of affirmation this week is acceptance, because that's what I'm looking at in my life at the moment. Things I have to accept because I can't change them, or things I have to accept that I can change. So it can be a negative, it can be a positive. I've again sent Joe an email list and I'll just ask him to take it from the top.
Okay, so managing my weight today by accepting that I am and where I should be.
Yeah, do you know, accepting that I am where I should be is very different from the girl, I'm not a girl, am I? I'm an old lady. From the woman who always wanted to be somewhere else. So I was either looking back at the big person I'd been, or I was looking forward at the slim person I might be one day. But I was never ever happy with where I was. And today I'm accepting that I am the size and shape I am today because that's where I should be for today. And every day is only 24 hours. So I don't need to look ahead and I don't need to look back. I just need to accept where I am today. That's been quite a revelation to me because I've never ever, or very rarely, lived in the present, and it's a much more comfortable place to be. Instead of thinking, oh, my clothes are too tight, I've got to go up a size, my attitude now is, I don't have to go up a size, I need to just do something about it. I had thought when I came back to Slimming World that I wanted to this time be a size 16 top, a size 14 bottom, which is where I originally planned to be when I was 22 stone coming down. Now I am a comfortable size 16 top, or a medium, and I am a comfortable size 14 bottom, because that's what I'm wearing today. I'm thinking, for today that feels good. I might not stay here, but for today that actually feels good. I'm wearing clothes that I'm not uncomfortable in, and I'm not wishing to change immediately. Okay, next one.
Okay, accepting that Slimming World has imperfection.
Yeah, the more I analyse Slimming World, and I am a bit of an analyser, the more I analyse it, the more I could pick out things that they actually get wrong. You know, you can look up something on the app and look up the sins of something on the app, and it'll give you two options for the same thing. And like, I think one we looked at the other week was tuna in olive oil, and it said per can 7 sins. Drained per can 7 sins. They can't both be right. I can't be bothered to contact Slimming World and say which of these would you apply. I use my common sense and say it's obviously the drained one. But little things like that, and little things that I'm pleased to see changing, like I noticed that on this month's new Healthy Extras and everything, you can now have a kefir as a B choice. I think it's a Tesco one, can't remember because I only read it last night, but things like that, they're getting with the programme. Just, it's not perfect. We all know that, don't we? It's not perfect, but it's the best of a bad lot. I don't think any other plan, any other weight management or weight loss plan can touch it. So, but I do have to accept its imperfections without that knocking me off plan. Because going back over the years, that would have been enough to irritate the SHRT out of me and make me come off plan. It doesn't anymore. I can just smile and let it go. Yep, next one.
Not regretting my time at Target or seeing it as a wasted opportunity.
No, I don't regret my time at Target. I don't regret weighing 8 stone 8. I don't regret the experience of learning to manage being a Target member. When I originally started my channel, I think it was back in about 2016, it was about the maintain train. It was about maintaining Target. And that period of 4 or 5 years, or whatever it was, might be 5 or 6 years, but that I was at Target, was a massive learning curve to me. Because honestly, in my naivety, I thought once you got to Target, you cracked it. You know, once I've lost this 13 stone 6 pounds, I'm going to be this new woman who bounces around full of energy and never puts weight on. I now live in the reality that that's not true. I actually believe today it's easier to be in the place I'm in today, where I'm actually decreasing my weight, than it was to maintain that kind of weight loss. I know I've heard other people say similar things, but I think this time, well, I have no intention of setting a target at the moment, or maybe ever, but I think this time my attitude is not going to be, I've crossed the finishing line, or I've made it, or I've cracked it, or I've sussed it all out. I think my attitude is much more going to be, on a daily basis, I need to be really aware of what I'm eating. I don't like the Slim for Life book. I've tried it. I think I said in last week's video, it didn't work for me. I know today what my limitations are. And I know today how to eat to lose an average of half a pound to a pound a week. And I know today how I can eat to maintain. So I don't regret the time I was at Target because I learned most of those lessons in that period of time. And they are so useful to me today. Next one.
Okay, learning daily lessons about myself from experiences each day.
Yeah, my life experience can be very different on a daily basis. And I'm now learning to navigate the plan to coincide with what's happening in my life. So if I get up one morning and I am not hungry, I don't have breakfast. If I get up another morning and I am hungry, I have breakfast. But I don't say, oh my God, I'm eating more today because I've had a breakfast. I just say, this is how my plan works. Going through the day, I generally have a really big lunch and a really big dinner, whether I've had breakfast or not. Going through the day, my experiences are, if I'm hungry, I eat. But I don't beat myself up if I've eaten twice as much today as I did yesterday, because I'm living in the day and I'm accepting this is what I need to do. I don't ever think, oh goodness, I've had a lot more calories, I've got to cut down tomorrow. All of those things are changing in me. I'm very much focused in the day, working the plan, and I can eat as much food as I like, as long as it's free food, speed food, falls within my healthy extras or my sins. And I'm not worried if I go to bed every night having had 15 sins, because it's a choice, and I can, it's the plan. But if I went to bed another night and I'd only had 11 sins, I wouldn't be lying there thinking, ooh, what can I spend the next 4 on? It's very much learning myself enough to know that I am eating appropriately for that day, because some days, like yesterday, I didn't wear my watch. I can't tell you how far we walked, but we walked further yesterday than we've walked in a long time, didn't we, Joe? Sorry, he's thinking about something. He's focused on something else. We walked further than we've walked in a long time.
Oh yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah, because we walked into the city, we did all our shopping, and then instead of walking home, we walked down the canal to see all the baby ducklings, and then we walked to Starbucks, and then we walked the long way home, and we were walking for probably 3.5 hours. But I didn't think, oh, now I can eat more, I can have more calories, or whatever. I just focus on the day, how I'm feeling, if I'm hungry, if I'm not hungry, but I don't skip meals. Even though I will say some days I don't eat breakfast, I don't count that as skipping a meal. Because if my head says she's skipping meals, my body says eat, all the wrong things. So it's keeping it, for me, it's keeping it very much focused on the plan. Yep.
Okay, accepting my responsibility to keep up with changes.
This is an interesting one. Excuse me, I've got an itchy nose, I've got hay fever. Accepting it's my responsibility to keep up with changes is a new thing to me because I've never had easy access to changes. But Shell let me know this weekend that if you go on the website, not the app, you can actually look up the changes for this month. So I think we put in the search bar new healthy extras, and it comes up with the new healthy extras, the new sins, any weight changes, because there are some cereals like muesli type cereals that have gone down in the weight. There are some that have gone up. There's a couple of items that are quite popular, like I think it's the Seriously Strong Spreadable Cheddar, whatever, you'd have to check for yourself. There are different things that have stopped being healthy extra A's. There are new healthy extra A's, there are new healthy extra B's, there are things that have changed the sins, and it's really worth looking. And it seems to be that this thing must appear once a month, because we can't find any going back, but it's the changes for this month. Now that is going to be really useful to me, because in the past I'm sure that there have been changes and new additions that I just have not known about. One of the changes is now you can have the little crunchy Weetabix bites, the Biscoff ones, 40 grams for a B choice. There's an oat bread that I think I've heard people mention in my group that is now not a B choice. It's just keeping on top of it. You know, some people might say, well, I've been doing this for 6 months and I've been eating that bread for 6 months, I'm going to continue eating that bread. That's your choice. That is totally your choice. But I could say, I've been doing this for 50 years. 50 years ago we could have Heinz macaroni cheese in a tin, it was free. But I don't think I'd benefit from doing it today. But we have choices. And it's my responsibility to keep up with changes, because we don't talk about things like that in group. And I think that would be a valuable addition to groups, for people to highlight if they've come across something they like, which is a new healthy extra. And I also think it would be a really good addition to stick it on the app, because lots of people use the app, but how many people keep referring back to the website? A bit old-fashioned, isn't it? I have heard there will be changes later in the year. The whole thing is going to be improved. Okay, Joe.
Okay, accepting how broad and generous the choices I have on plan are.
Yeah, I was listening to Anna and Claire when they did the thing about the desert island dishes. And they kept mentioning the number of free foods. I think it was something like, I don't know, 350, 365 or whatever. That's a lot of choices. They won't all suit us. They don't all suit me. There's lots of things on that list I would never eat. But there are a lot of choices. And with the increase in healthy extras, because healthy extras used to be so limited donkeys years ago, with the increases now in healthy extras and the variety of healthy extras that we can have, you know, that this plan is getting broader and broader and broader by the month. Because so many things today that are low sin, and that's another thing this new list thing I found shows me. It's a lot of low sin options. Then the plan is just expanding and expanding. And whereas at one time it was very much, you know, everything here is like lean meat, fish, vegetables, fruit. Okay, we've still got all of that, but we've also got a plethora of healthy extras, A's and B's, of low sin foods and of other free foods, that it's just like, you know, you can buy lots of things now in the supermarkets that are actually free, but they don't come from the basic part of the supermarket that is just fresh meat and fruit and veg. So I think it's exciting that this plan actually, as the years go by, gets bigger and better. Yeah.
Okay. Accepting my food likes and dislikes are unique to me.
When I look at what I eat on this plan, my food likes and dislikes would be very different to yours. I mean, I can eat quinoa just about every day. I absolutely love it. Other people might think, oh my God, I don't like that. I find it a really useful thing for making poke bowls and such like. But I was quite blown away this week when I had an email from Slimming World. They're doing a survey with Leeds University to work out the satiety of foods. I don't know if everybody's had one of these or if it's just a random thing. But it came in and it said, you know, would you give 35 minutes to doing this survey? So we did it. And it was quite funny because they were asking your reaction to the satiety values and whether or not you'd eat them when you were anxious, whether or not you'd eat them when you were hungry, whether you'd full, whatever, your emotions behind eating all these things and the filling powers and whatever. And there was a list of, I don't know, 8, 10 foods that you had to answer these questions against. And there wasn't one thing on that list that I actually liked. And it said, if you don't eat this particular thing, answer the question as if you do. So what do you believe? And the first thing on there was, I think, was it a bagel with cream cheese and smoked salmon?
Yeah, cream cheese and smoked salmon sandwich, yeah.
Yeah, I do not like, I couldn't eat smoked salmon if I was starving. I don't like the texture of it. The second thing on the list was a sultana scone. Nope. I really do not like dry fruit, it makes me heave. And the list went on and on, didn't it, Joe? Different things. I can't remember them all off the top of my head. But when we got to the bottom, I said to Joe, that was an interesting experience, answering questions. And it was obvious which ones had the best satiety, which ones were higher in protein, etc., etc. But there wasn't one food on that list that I would actually eat. And I think we're all like that, or I'll speak for myself, I'm like that. If I don't like it, I don't eat it. However hungry I am, I don't eat it. And I've always been a bit like that. There are foods I don't like and I just don't eat them. But for me, it's accepting that even though I don't like a sultana scone and I don't eat it, there are so many choices today of what I do like and what I can eat, that the Jane 20 or 30 years ago would have said this plan's boring is not the Jane today. Because I don't find this plan boring at all. And I don't say that I am the person with the vastest repertoire of food. I know what I like and I eat what I love. And the thing is, I've learned today that for me it doesn't work to cook a different meal every day. I'm not a recipe book person. I don't buy tin tomatoes because I don't eat tin tomatoes. And everything that seems in Slimming World, lots and lots of stuff is tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. I know Lisa would find a way around this. But if I don't like it, I don't eat it. And I just find that all these recipe books that keep appearing in group, there's only so much you can do with those kind of free foods, isn't there? It's like the Slimming World frozen meals. There's only so much they can do with them. And now we have 3 risottos. I mean, come on, get a bit more inventive. But the thing with those is they're now starting to do the dinner size meals and include an A choice. I don't buy those. If I want to use an A choice, I'll choose what I use it on. And if I want to use an A choice of cheese, I'll choose the cheese I want to eat. So I am I'm not a picky eater. I eat a lot of different stuff. But it just, yeah, everybody has their likes and their dislikes. And I accept today that I do not have to eat the same as the people I sit next to at group, the same as the people I watch on YouTube, because we're all okay. We're all doing our own thing. And yeah, I love that about Slimming World. I can do me, you can do you, and we can both be comfortable on our own plan. Next.
I don't rely on mojo or willpower. I'm choice motivated.
This took me a long time to accept. I don't rely on mojo. I don't even know what blinking mojo is. It sounds like, I've said it before, it sounds like black magic. I don't have any mojo. I don't have any willpower. I don't even go chasing it so that I can say, I can't do this because I haven't got any willpower. I just use the power that I have got 24/7, 365 days of the year, and that's choice. I can always make the best choice for the situation I'm in. And if I'm hungry and I get to the end of the day and I'm still hungry, my choice is go cook another meal. It's not white knuckle it, go to bed, lie there hungry, feel dissatisfied, get up tomorrow morning feeling dissatisfied and kick off with a bad choice. My choice is always hunger means eat. Stop when you've had enough. If you haven't had enough, eat a bit more. On plan. It works for me. I never ever feel in the place I used to be when I was treating this like a hard and fast diet, Operation Starvation, going without, thinking I was clever, always hungry, and then crack. Couldn't keep going. Because that's when I fall off the wagon. And it's not because I need to fall off the wagon, it's because I'm not making the right choices. So you can throw the willpower out with the bathwater or the baby or whatever. You can cancel mojo, because I don't really get what it means anyway. I'm not dependent on any of those things. The only thing I rely on 100% today is choice. I choose to the best of my ability. And if I choose from a place of satisfaction and non-hunger, I make better choices. So, yeah, is there another one?
A blind person can use their love of this plan to find a way to work it.
For years I used to say, I can't do this 100%, I can't do this like everybody else. Oh, woe is me, I'm blind. I never feel sorry for myself because I'm blind. It's normal for me, I'm used to it. But to be able to use it as an excuse not to work the plan properly was very convenient for a long time. But I don't use that excuse anymore. Because if I want to do this as a blind person, I'll find a way. I'll ask the right people. I'll be in touch with people who actually know what they're doing. I'll find myself a good group. I'll make an effort. So, you know, being blind is not a disadvantage. Yeah, it's a disadvantage because you can't read the magazine. But do you know what? Even when I could see, I wasn't a magazine reader. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure the magazine is very interesting and a lot of people like to sit down, have a cup of coffee and read a magazine. But I never was that kind of person. So I'm not missing anything, even though I used to use that as another excuse. Oh, I can't read all the information in the magazine. Woe is me. The internet has made things a lot more accessible. The app isn't accessible to me as a blind person, but you know, I can manage without it. If I need something scanned, I ask Joe. So I can't use that as an excuse anymore. And I actually think that being blind makes me listen more. It's definitely made me a better listener over the years in group. And it's definitely made me more determined to get the information I need and retain the information I need. So I can't use being blind as an excuse anymore. I've accepted I do not have limitations in that area. Next.
Right, this is going to be a rapid fire one. You've got a minute. Members come with their own personal baggage.
All members come with their own personal baggage, including me. Don't soak it up. Accept that's their life and you've got your life. And then finally, I lost £half a pound this week, which took me down into the 11 stone bracket. I'm now 11 stone 13 and a half. I didn't aim to lose £1 to get my next half stone award. I aimed to lose £half a pound because it was more important in my head to get into the 11 stone bracket. And I'm there. So £half a pound off this week and we'll see you next week. Cheers.